From Psalms 130. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my prayer. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplication. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand? For there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. I wait for the Lord, my soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. My soul waiteth for the Lord, more than they that watch for the morning. I say more than they that watch for the morning. Let Israel hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous of redemption. And he shall redeem Israel from all her iniquities. May God add his blessing to the reading of his word. I'm taking my thoughts from Psalms 136, but I shared this particular note because as the writer begins to look and meditate on his God and the wonder, and he wants God to hear him, and he says, out of the depths do I cry, hear, O God. I'm talking to you personally. I know that you want to hear me, and I want to know that you hear me. And as we give praise to God today, we too want to hear God hearing our voice. And from the depths of our heart, we say, thank you, God. Thank you. Now, when you look at Psalms 136, the writer begins to indicate that there is great joy and great thanksgiving in his soul. I'm reminded as my son and I and his wife went either deer or elk hunting, and we were at Toyce, if I'm pronouncing that right, over in New Mexico for the night before we would go out into the open air and the coldness of the night as we went hunting. And as we had had a good night's rest, and all of a sudden he came running up the stairs over the second floor where my room was, and he said, Dad, Dad, Dad! And what's going on, man? And so he said, what's going on? He said, look out your window, look out your window. And there from that motel on the second floor, and I looked into the sky, and there were those hot air balloons. Not one, not two, but 13 hot air balloons flying in the sky, and they landed. It was undoubtedly a contest, and they had various landing spots that they were landing, and right there in a wire window, it was landing there, and then it would rise up and float. What excitement, what joy there was to see the beauty of it. And this is what the writer is indicating here. The beauty and the wonder of God. And he says, oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks unto the God of gods, for his mercy endureth forever. And for the Lord of lords. And he goes on as you read that particular part. But then there was always be on every one of those 26 verses, there's an encore which indicates, for his mercy endureth forever. The writer knows that God's mercy is very close. And that word in the King James indicates, as we have read, but as you read other versions, you read, steadfast love endures forever. Kindness endures forever. Loyalty, bountiful love. There's really no English word that's really equivalent to this word of mercy from the Hebrew language. And that encompasses it all, and the writer is well aware of what's going on here. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. He is marvelous. He is wonderful. And I know, God, you've been very merciful to me this last year. There is one supreme message that I think the psalmist is saying. It's not really quite spelled out completely, but it's a worshipful one. And if you really want to look at Psalms 136, you need to read it in a quiet place by yourself. And you need to then close it up and then begin to meditate. For the psalmist says, not only are you great and wonderful, but I've experienced your wonderful guiding hand. You took us out of Egypt. You took us across the Red Sea. You took care of us in the wilderness. You took care of us when we went into the promised land. Oh God, I'm so thrilled. You see, the psalmist didn't get caught with little irritations of life. Because often we get all tied up with the little irritation. But he's seeing the big things. As we travel, you know, we can see the Rocky Mountains. And then we see the snow-capped mountains. And what a thrill to see how God has created the universe. And then there's even the joy of seeing the plains of Kansas. You can see quite a ways, but at least you can see the setting of the sun with all its beauty. And this is what the psalmist is talking about here. I'm reminded of R.L. Milton.